In Sydney's western suburbs, an angry crowd vents its fury. Its target, a small group of gay and trans protesters. It's just one of a series of protests targeting gay and trans people.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Like this march through the heart of gay Sydney, coinciding with World Pride celebrations. Another nighttime action targeted the management office of comedian Reuben Kaye, who'd made an offensive joke about Jesus.
Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses.
Many of the men are from Sydney's Maronite Christian community. Although a recent rally attracted Muslim protesters too. A bruised LGBT community is worried. At this town hall meeting in Ashfield, they try to forge a response.
It's a wake-up call about the kind of organising that's going on. It's really clear that this is from the margin.
It's really important that we stand together and show our strength.
Look, I think people are rightly concerned about what has happened, but this is clearly a form of escalation that has happened on a political level that requires a proper response.
What we've seen here in Australia is that these groups are taking a page from the political playbook of the religious right and the hard right in the US context. This has been going on in America for quite a while, where there's been, for example, story times for children, drag queen story times shut down.
These are local.
In Melbourne last week, a council meeting about a planned drag queen event at the local library required a police presence.
Armed police with weapons, with their cameras rolling.
Who are meant to be supporting us.
The Drag Storytime event is scheduled to be held on 19 May to celebrate the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia and Transphobia by modelling inclusiveness.
At this particular event, there'll be a drag artist who will work with some of our senior librarians. They'll read books from our council collection to children and families who are present, and they'll collectively sing a few songs. That's all it is.
Mate, what happened? Mate, what happened in there? What happened? What happened?
They're just rubbish. They're useless. All of us!
We've been pretty clear that we're not going to succumb to intimidation and harassment to decide what we should and shouldn't be offering to our community.
These are groups that talk about freedom and free speech, but when it obviously stands in contrast to their beliefs, shut down events that they don't agree with.
Before I begin, I'd first like to thank God for bringing us all here today.
Diana Aboud is a leading voice in the campaign to remove trans content from schools.
They are the ones confused. Why do our children need to suffer the consequences? Kids are born freely into this world by the grace of God as a boy or a girl. There's no they, them, him, her, it. Okay? They know who they are. They're not confused. Our children are not confused. They identify as a child of God.
The University of Melbourne's Ada Chung says that view doesn't reflect reality.
95% of people will be born a boy and identify as a boy, but there are a small percentage of people, up to 0.5 to 3%, who will identify with a gender that's different for what was assigned for them at birth.
Diana Aboud campaigns online against inclusive content for Catholic school students.
These poor, innocent children have been brainwashed. They are children. They watched a slide of families, and in that families, it was considered that 2 mums and 2 dads is a family.
What we're seeing here is an attempt to polarise, an attempt to define an enemy within. It's easy to turn on those members of society who might have less of a voice in particular, that they can assert their authority and power over.
Bankstown carpenter Christian Sukar is a key figure at rallies promoted by a Maronite Christian group called Christian Lives Matter.
We will protect our children. I will protect our angels.
We have the gays coming and putting their gay flags on the church, and we have started to remove them. If you're at home and you're doing nothing, I urge you to come to the church. I want to remind Australia this is a Catholic country, not a gay country, a Catholic country.
Sukar has pleaded guilty to encouraging the commission of crimes over this tirade.
You go there tomorrow and you shake them up and you drag them by their head and you remove them from St. Michael's Belfield. Time to rise.
Sukar did not take part in any violence, but here he is at the heart of the Belfield crowd. Ahead of his sentencing later this month, Sukar remains unrepentant.
What's the threat to the kids?
Who in their right mind wants a transvestite dressed like that reading a bedtime story to a little kid? Of course I'm threatened by that. I have children of my own.
It seems like there's just such fury out there.
But that's fine.
The Christian community.
Why don't they do? There's no fury. Why don't you do it to your own children? Oh, because I can't have children. So why are you coming after my children? It's my children. I'll teach my children what I want to teach my children.
Enough. That's enough.
All right, that's enough.
At another rally, Christian Sukar complains that church leaders aren't supportive enough of their cause.
Where are our bishops? I'm not going to hang on. Where is Bishop Tarabay? Where is Father Emmanuel, an Orthodox priest, speaking on all our behalfs? And he's saying beautiful stuff.
This is the man that Christian Sukar considers to speak beautiful stuff. Assyrian Orthodox Bishop Mar Mari Emmanuel.
So now, when a man calls himself a woman, he is neither a man nor a woman. You are not a human, then you are an it. Now, since you are an it, I will not address you as a human anymore, because it is not my choosing, it's your choosing, my dear.
The Catholic and Maronite churches declined to be interviewed for this report. In a statement, Australia's Maronite Church condemned the violence and said it was imperative to de-escalate what has the potential to intensify. Our aim collectively must be to maintain and in some instances restore a culture of respect for diversity and the goodness of humanity. It distanced itself from the Christian Lives Matter group, saying it wasn't part of Maronite parishes or organisations. Back at the town hall meeting, it was the local Uniting Church minister who offered support for the embattled gay and trans community.
Using Christianity as the flag to wave and disrespect and attack other people for their difference is just the complete antithesis of the story that I've come to know and believe in.